Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Track and Field Edition, and my guest for the final episode here in 2019 is none other than a freshman on the track and field team at Menlo College, Connor Dimitri. Connor, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, let's start by talking a little bit about yourself. Now, going way back into cross-country season in 2018, Noble Boutin said that he believes you could be the best-looking teammate without any hair if you were completely bald. Do you think you could pull that off?
Oh, absolutely. I say that because, my dad's bald and practically bald, and I know it's happening sooner or later, so it's going to happen.
Like I say, if your dad is there, at some point you're going to get it. You're thin, but that's probably by design, right?
For the most part, I guess.
You're not going to just let it go like Noble style or Logan style, I guess.
I couldn't hang with Logan on that. I couldn't do it.
So when do you think it's going to happen?
Maybe around the 30 mark.
Ooh, that's young.
That's pretty young.
That's young.
Hopefully I could add a couple years, but probably about 30.
I'd like to at least, well, granted, this is way pushing. If you said 30, I was going to say like 50. Let's wait till 50. But if you're telling me 30, then I'm hoping for like 35 for you. Like
maybe that's the goal. I'll up it to 35.
35 sounds better. I won't say it sounds good by any stretch, because I wouldn't want to go bald.
Oh no, I would if I could change it. I totally would. I want like a full head of hair as long as I possibly can. But
now, if you lose the head of hair, would you try to compensate and go like a beard?
Maybe someday. I think I'm getting there. So like the older I get, hopefully I'll those genes will mature a little bit. Hopefully.
Does your dad have one?
He can at times. He does. So that's an option.
I'm with you there. Like I've been waiting for that time to come for a while because all of the men in my family either have beards or have the ability to grow beards.
Yeah,
including this has been the whole year. I haven't shaved this year, and this is all I got.
It's not bad. I can't do that. So
Well, have you tried?
A little bit. I did at the beginning of track season. I let it go.
And after
about a month.
I was gonna say after a month, you're like, I can't do this anymore. This doesn't look good.
To a point, it's just like you gotta get rid of it. It's not going good.
Give you till I'll say 25.
That's a good
one.
When
25 rolls around, I am confident that by then you'll be at that perfect stage of your life where you're still going to have hair, a full head of hair, and you're going to be able to grow a beard.
Hopefully.
And somehow you're gonna pull it off, and somehow it's just gonna look good.
I'll take it. 25 that's not bad. Maybe a couple years.
The stars are going to align in a few years from now. I'm telling you right now. Now, among the many things your teammates have told me about you, they have said you are, quote, off the wall. They've said you are, quote, strange.
Oh, that's Tim for sure.
That was Tim, actually, who said that.
That's exactly what he said.
What would give them reasons to say that? I've only known you now for probably about, 10 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. But you don't seem strange or off the wall.
I think specifically with certain teammates, and I guess especially because we're such a small group and we're so close, I have no problem like being myself or getting in an awkward situation with them, because it's kind of how we have fun usually, especially with people like Tim or some of the younger guys. It's like we can let loose a little bit, and then the older guys are there usually to like rein us back in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it goes usually.
And I'm sure, too, being a small group, you guys are close out of practice, out of season, although you're kind of always in season.
Pretty much,
but you guys know each other so well off the track that you get to see each other in those weird moments, perhaps, where
definitely.
Then you start to know things about the other person, you start to laugh about things to the other person, and then you start to talk about them on Unrooted.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the natural progression.
That's how it goes.
You learn it, and then you come on Unrooted to tell the whole world about it.
And it's only gotten worse throughout the time that we've been at Menlo, especially with like the freshmen. When we first started, it was like everyone was in their own little bubble, and now it's like we have no problem. We can talk about whatever, whenever. It's like
absolutely. And the longer you guys are here, the worse it's going to be, because then I'll know more.
Oh yeah.
And then more is going to get out on the show, and no secret is safe at that point.
Oh no. at that point, we're done.
I say that with my most evil grin on my face. All right, Connor, let's talk about the team here a little bit. Menlo has a relatively small roster, as we've talked about, but you guys do have a very strong rapport off the track. I asked Elijah this last week, and I want to get your thoughts on it. How important is team chemistry to a sport like cross country or track and field?
I think it's almost essential because whether you're on a small team or a big team, it's like if you have a group of guys or girls who don't get along, it's really hard to communicate, work together, train together every day. I mean, we train, we eat, a lot of us room together, so it's like if you're not getting along, it's probably not a good situation.
Yeah, I imagine the training aspect is probably where it comes into play the most because that's
Absolutely.
where, I mean, you guys can push yourselves as you're running, sure,
Yeah.
but the way that you're truly improving is when when you're not out there in competition. That's where you're going to
Absolutely,
make your
yeah.
improvements. So in the weight room with sports performance
Yeah.
and all those guys and gals.
Absolutely.
Now, as one of the younger guys on the roster, how are you guys able to learn about what it takes to compete at this level? Does that come from the coaching staff, or do you guys lean on any of the veterans on the team?
I'd say both. I mean, I definitely am lucky enough to have a coach like Coach Crines because he comes from such a high-level program. Then to come to Menlo, and it just makes us better because he has so much more insight than I've been. I've had the ability to be around, and definitely I lean on some of the older guys, like definitely Logan, Noble, like they've been here long enough and running at that high level that it just like you'd be dumb not to look up to them because they have the answers. If you have a problem, they're there. They just know how it goes.
For sure. Now, speaking of running at a high level, Benjamin Rono did it again last week down at APU. He set another school record and once again qualified for the NAI National Meet. Did so in the 1,500 meter this time, his second qualifying event. What impresses you the most about Benji that allows him to put up these big performances on a weekly basis?
I think it's crazy how when he puts up a time like he does or he qualifies for the marathon or 1,500, it's like to him it's just another race. It's like that's just a part of life. Like he sets expectations for himself. It's like you don't have to push him and motivate him. Sometimes you got to give him a little kick in the butt to get him going, but I mean other than that, it surprises me how easy it comes to him. And I know how hard he works off and on the track too, so it's like he deserves it.
Yeah, and going down there to Azusa Pacific against I mean top tier talent. Like we've said that a couple times over the course of the year, but this time we actually mean it. Like
it was
this is the cream of the crop.
Really
and to go down there and put up a qualifying mark in that tournament.
It's impressive.
That is very impressive. Now the conference championships are this weekend for the Oaks. You're going down to Santa Barbara to take part in the 2019 GSAC Championship. What are you expecting down in Santa Barbara this weekend, and what's the message that the Oaks are hoping to send to the rest of the conference?
I think that we're a completely different team than we were even in cross country. Like everyone has grown and gotten so much faster, and our workouts have just shown that like we're ready to surprise the rest of the conference. Like I don't think the rest of the conference is ready for the Oaks because there's some big things going to happen. Some big PRs, maybe some national qualifiers. I think anything's on the table.
Already 2 national qualifiers for the Oaks, 2 different people in 4 different events total, or 4 separate qualifying marks have been set, right?
I think so, something like that.
2 Benji. No, I think it's 3. 2 by Benji. Logan has 1.
I think it might be 3.
Maybe it was 3.
Maybe 3.
I was thinking Benji 2, and then I also thought Benji a third time. Like, no, that's not right. Okay, so 3 qualifying marks for the Oaks. Let's triple that, or let's double that. Let's get to 6. Let's get 3 down there at GSAC.
I don't think it's out of the question at all.
I don't think it is either. I think it's a hot take, but it's not. It's like mild.
Yeah.
It's a mild take.
I think that would be the peak of the weekend. If we got even 1 more qualifier, I mean, if we got 2 or 3 more, that would be huge.
Absolutely. All right, Connor, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answers.
All right, sounds good.
Question number 1, which teammate would look the best with the biggest beard?
I would have to say Logan because, I mean, he does have experience with the facial hair, and I think he looks the best by far.
And with the way Logan has grown the hair on top,
Yeah.
he could definitely grow it down here too,
Oh.
I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be
100%.
Like I can envision him with like a, obviously it would be blonde, but like
Yeah.
a James Harden like
Oh, easy.
beard.
He can do it. He's capable of it.
Either that or Duck Dynasty.
Oh, yeah. Either or. I mean, it just depends on how far he wants to take it. I think even more James Harden because he just has the genes to do it. It's
He does.
impressive. It's impressive.
Logan, we're all very lucky that you have the genes to do that. Question number 2, which teammate is most likely to one day own the biggest pile of gold?
Definitely Ben. He's a hustler. He has no problem getting stuff, finding a way. Like he's very crafty, and I think he could do it. I mean, I don't doubt him a bit.
Just like as we heard a couple of weeks ago from Logan, how he likes to steal bananas and whatnot. So
Absolutely, yeah.
I would hope that the way he acquires this is through natural,
Yeah, hopefully, right?
natural
Exactly.
accumulation.
Hopefully.
But that'd be one heck of a start. I'd love to be Benji's best friend in
Yeah.
that case.
Borrow a little bit. I mean, yeah,
And then just
definitely
carry it
Ben.
around with me everywhere I go.
Yeah,
Look at
right?
me. I got this bar of gold from my best friend Benji over here. And then question number 3, which teammate is most likely to buy a Snuggie with your face on it?
Definitely Tim.
Really?
Definitely Tim. Because it's like we have a certain relationship that's like, it's just anything goes, I guess. And I could see it. I mean, I mess around with him the most, and I think we're pretty close, so I could see it happening.
I probably should have looked this up beforehand, but do you know if you can even make your own Snuggie?
I wouldn't doubt it. Nowadays, you can do pretty much anything online.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I haven't really seen a Snuggie in
Yeah.
a long, long time.
That's
But
true.
I went home for Easter weekend, and I slept on the couch, and one of the blankets that I just happened to pull out was a Snuggie.
That's
Didn't
funny.
even realize it was a Snuggie until I was putting it away the next morning.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't realize it had the arm
That's
sleeves.
funny.
But it had the arm sleeve, so it was a Snuggie.
Yeah, I've had one before.
Those things are
They're not
actually kind of great.
bad. It's pretty comfy.
I don't know how they've died out all of a sudden.
I don't know. They're too popular.
But we need to go back on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
get a Snuggie, and customize it to get
Oh.
Connor Dimitri's face just plastered,
Yes.
big jumbo size, fat head style, right on the center of it.
Let's do it.
I'm
Sounds
down.
good.
I would chip in like $10
I'll do it.
just to see this thing be.
I don't
created.
think it would even be that much. Maybe $20 at the most. I think that's
Yeah,
probably-
I could see it being like the 30 range.
Okay.
I could
yeah.
see it being about
Yeah.
$30. Get all your teammates to chip in right
Oh, yeah.
there.
That sounds good to me.
You're looking at a few bucks a person.
Easy.
Make it happen. End of the year gift for Connor Dimitri.
Let's do it.
Or
I'm
actually,
ready.
no, end of the year gift for Tim. Let's make it an end of the year gift for Tim.
definitely for Tim.
All right, Connor, thanks so much for joining me on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Folks, the track and field team heading down to Southern California for the GSAC Championships, the 2019 GSAC Championship meet hosted by Westmont College on their campus in Santa Barbara. The 2-day event begins Friday, ends on Saturday. We will have the live streaming and the live update links for you on the Menlo Athletics webpage. You can also go to the portal page for Westmont College to find out all the information there as well. Well, that'll do it. That's our final episode of Track and Field here in 2019. So thanks to Connor and everybody for stopping by on the show. And thanks to you folks out there for tuning in all season long. We hope you have a fantastic summer, and we'll see you back here in the fall when we do it all over again for the 2019-2020 season.